So let's begin here in the quiet, right where you are. The weight of your body in the chair, the subtle rise and fall of your chest, the space between one thought and the next. This is not a waiting room. This is not the antechamber to some better, more spiritual, more polished version of your life. This is the very heart of it. We live in a culture that worships at the altar of next. The next milestone, the next breakthrough, the next version of ourselves that will finally have it all figured out. We've been handed a map at birth that points relentlessly forward, with here always marked as insufficient. We learn to speak in the future tense about our own souls. I will be happy when. I will find peace after. I will become whole once. But what if the map is upside down? What if here isn't a problem to be solved, but a presence to be inhabited? What if the treasure isn't buried at the end of the journey, but resting in the palm of the hand that's been clutching the shovel all along? I'd like to suggest something quietly radical. You are not a project. You are not a half-written sentence, desperately searching for its missing period. You are a complete utterance, a living, breathing stanza in an endless poem. You are not broken. You are not a mistake in need of correction. You are a phenomenon, as natural, as intricate, as lawful as the branching of rivers, the spiraling of galaxies, or the way light filters through a canopy of leaves. Look at the natural world with fresh eyes. Does the mountain apologize for being a mountain and not a valley? Does the oak tree fret that it isn't growing fast enough or in the right direction? Does the nightingale critique the acoustics of its own song? They simply are. They express their nature with a flawless, unself-conscious grace. They participate in the great dance of being without first asking for permission to join. You are not an exception to this law. You are this law in human form. From the moment we can understand language, we are taught to translate ourselves. We learn to turn the raw, wordless wonder of our being into a resume of traits, smart or slow, kind or selfish, successful or failing. We build an identity out of comparisons, out of report cards and report backs, out of glances and expectations reflected in other people's eyes. We construct a self, layer by careful layer, like assembling a suit of armor. And then, one day, we forget we are wearing it. We mistake the armor for our skin. We believe the biography is the being. But here is the secret, whispering beneath the story. You are not the armor. You are the one who put it on. You are not the biography. You are the awareness that reads it. Think of your mind as a vast, clear sky. Thoughts are the weather, clouds passing through. Some are dark and thunderous, some are light and wispy. But the sky does not become the cloud. It holds the cloud, allows it, and remains utterly unchanged by its passing. We suffer because we have learned to identify with the weather. We say, "I am a storm," when we are merely experiencing one. We believe we are the anxiety, the doubt, the longing, when in truth, we are the spacious, silent sky in which these temporary formations arise and dissolve. You are the witness, not the weather. Now, I can hear the objection rising. A very reasonable, very human objection. But what about my flaws? My past mistakes? The parts of me that feel jagged and unlovable? The habits I can't break, the fears that hold me back? Are you saying to just ignore all that? No, not ignore, but perhaps include. What if your imperfections are not errors in the code, but essential features of the design? What if your so-called weaknesses are not obstacles to your wholeness, but the very contours that give your wholeness its unique shape? A river is made more interesting by the rocks it flows around. A melody is given depth by its pauses and its subtle dissonances. Your grief does not make you less whole. It is a valley that allows you to recognize the peaks of your joy. Your fear is not a cage. It is the guardian of a vulnerability that is also the seat of your courage. You are not a sculpture being carved from flawed marble into a perfect figure. You are a landscape, already complete, already holy in its hills and shadows, its forests and its silent, stone-strewn fields. This is not a call to passive resignation. It is an invitation to a different kind of effort, the effort of release, the effort of letting go of the exhausting project of self-construction. We have confused doing with being. We believe that to be worthy, we must constantly do, improve, produce, achieve, fix. But a tree does not do treeness. It is a tree. Its being is its doing. Its growth is not an anxious striving, but a patient, inevitable unfolding in response to sun and soil. Your growth is like that. It is organic, not manufactured. It happens not when you strain to become what you are not, but when you relax into the truth of what you already are. There is a concept found in many wisdom traditions, Wu Wei. It is often translated as effortless action, or action that does not struggle. It is the way of water, which never argues with the rock, but simply, persistently, finds its way around. It does not force. It flows. It is supremely powerful because it is perfectly aligned with the grain of reality. Your life, lived from this place of already wholeness, becomes an expression of Wu Wei. It is not laziness. It is profound intelligence. It is action that springs from being, not from lack. You work not to prove your worth, but as an expression of the creativity that you are. You love not to be loved in return, but because love is the native language of your heart. You create not to leave a legacy, but because creation is the joy of a universe that is, itself, ceaselessly creating, and you are that universe, looking out through human eyes. This shift changes everything. It turns life from a test you must pass into a mystery you get to explore. It turns relationships from arenas of need into gardens of shared discovery. It turns each moment from a stepping stone to somewhere else into the destination itself. So how do you touch this? How do you remember what you have never truly forgotten? You begin by pausing. You insert a single, conscious breath between the stimulus of the world and your habitual reaction to it. In that breath, there is a space. And in that space, there is a choice. You learn to listen not just to the noisy committee of thoughts in your head, but to the quieter, deeper intelligence of the body. The body does not lie. It does not dwell in the past or future. It knows only the present. The tightness in your chest, the warmth of sun on your skin, the solid ground beneath your feet, these are anchors to the eternal now. You practice curiosity instead of judgment. When a feeling of inadequacy arises, instead of saying, "I am not enough," you might whisper, "Ah, here is the old story of not enoughness. How interesting." You create a tiny distance between the thought and the thinker. And in that distance, your freedom is born. You engage in what the poet David Whyte calls the conversational nature of reality. You stop telling life what it should be and start listening to what it is. You ask, what is this moment inviting from me? Instead of, how can I force this moment to conform to my plans? You begin to trust. Not a blind, naive trust, but the deep, organic trust of a seed in the soil. The seed does not know the detailed blueprint of the oak tree, but it trusts its own nature and the nurturing dark. It surrenders to the process. You learn to surrender to the intelligence of your own unfolding. And slowly, something miraculous happens. The compulsive striving begins to soften. The inner critic, while it may never leave completely, loses its volume, its authority. It becomes background noise, not the voice of God. A deep, quiet contentment begins to seep into your days, not because your circumstances are perfect, but because your relationship to them has changed. You find joy in ordinary things. The steam rising from a cup, the laughter of a stranger, the way light falls on a wooden floor. This is not enlightenment as a far-off peak. This is awakening as a coming home. It is remembering that you belong here, in this life, in this body, in this moment, exactly as you are. Not because you earned it, but because you are an expression of the same force that spun the stars and painted the tiger's stripes. You are not a guest in this universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself in a singular, never to be repeated way. You are the universe, feeling curiosity through your questions. You are the universe, feeling beauty through your awe. You are the universe, feeling connection through your love. You are the universe, feeling creativity through your hands and your heart. So today, just for now, let the project of self-improvement rest. Put down the tools of criticism and comparison. Turn off the relentless internal commentary and simply abide. Be the sky that holds the weather. Be the mountain that wears the seasons. Be the ocean that contains the waves. You are already what you are seeking. You are already home. You are already whole. This life is not a problem to be solved. It is a gift to be opened. And the gift is not inside the wrapping. The gift is the unwrapping. The gift is the presence that meets the present, again and again, with a slowly dawning wonder. You are not on your way to becoming beautiful. You are beauty in process. You are not on your way to becoming worthy. You are worth incarnate. You are not on your way to becoming love. You are love, learning its own contours. There is nowhere to get to, no one to become, nothing to fix. There is only this, the sacred, shimmering, unfinished symphony of you, playing its one-of-a-kind note in the grand chorus of everything. And that note, in all its complexity and simplicity, is not only enough, it is essential. The music would be incomplete without it. Welcome home.